Hi there, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Training and Empowerment Academy and host of the iTunes show, the Dr. Gwen Podcast Show. This afternoon, we are going to be talking about the law of increase. And it's a law that we all are governed by, and for some reason, we seem to make others wrong about it. So we're going to explore this law here today. And there is my friend Jackie. Good to see you. So this law of increase. Now, I don't think that I need to explain to you what the terminology increase means. I think that everybody is aware of increase. It's a part of nature. Because if you look at the things in nature, what you find is that the plants grow and they continue to expand their cells. Hi, Jackie. Good to see you. And the plants continue to grow and they expand themselves. That's a part of nature. Animals, they reproduce, so they produce more of their kind, right? It's just simply an inherent law. And we, as human beings, we like to also increase. And how do we do that? We do that by expanding our knowledge. Some of us go to school, we get degrees. Some of us have jobs, and we're continuously looking for an increase in salary and a promotion or whatever it is that we want to expand ourselves. It's really great to have you, Jackie. Good to see you live today, my friend. So we do that. We want to have more. And inherently in itself, there is nothing wrong with wanting to have more. Sometimes I think we can take this to another degree by persecuting or looking down upon or speaking badly of people who want more. Of course, the motive is always important, but we don't know motives. So we can't judge someone based upon what we think is their motive for wanting more. There are several reasons why people want more. And of course, as part of the divine team, God provides for us much more than we have right now. Some people have a tendency to say that if you want more money, you're greedy, or if you want more of whatever, there is greed. Now, if you think about this, with all of the things that you want and have in your life and things that you want to expand yourself to be in the world, a lot of that takes money. It does, doesn't it? And if you don't have money to put out to do some of the things that you want to do, then you can't impact other people's lives. It takes money to give a donation. It takes money to buy food for the homeless. It takes money to provide a housing for the people who need it. All of those things take money, and money is just another way to show increase. So think about this for a minute. What is it that you want to increase in your life right now? What do you want to see increase and grow? Some of us, we start businesses so that we can expand our influence and we can expand our reach. And Jackie says some people feel that not increasing or doing better is a humble stance. Yes, I've heard that. I really have heard that conversation before. And really, it defies nature. All we have to do as a part of nature, who we are, is to look around. Look around at the plants. Look around at the trees. Look around at the animals. Are they staying stagnant or are they increasing? Are they growing? Are they improving? The trees are getting taller every day. Well, we do naturally get taller every day, right? But even in the animal kingdom, the whole scenario is that reproduction, it's natural. naturally programmed inside of us. And as human beings, we are no different. We want to increase. We want to be better. We want to transform our lives. There is nothing humble about sitting down and accepting life the way it is. We each have a purpose for being here, every last one of us. And it's going to take an increase for us to grow beyond who we are currently to achieve the results or the status that we want, so we can impact the lives of the people that we wish to impact. So I really think that we need to consider that very, very seriously. Now, there are certain things that come with this increase, because I know for a fact that there's some things that we have to come to grips with in our quest for increasing. We have to first of all understand that there are certain laws that accompany all of this, and when we violate these laws, what we actually end up doing is short-circuiting our own possibility of increase, because we're so interconnected, because we are so interrelated, whether between humanity, whether between all of the elements in nature, the animals, the plants. There is nothing we will do in this world that will not affect something else in the world to a greater degree and in the long run. So we have to be aware of these laws if our desire is to increase. So here are a couple things. I jotted down some notes that I want to review with you. First of all, we have to come from the possibility of abundance. Just knowing that there is enough for everyone. Wow, that is something, because sometimes we can operate as though we're crabs in a barrel. You can't go up, pull them down, because I'm not going up. Pull them down. No kind of increase can occur with that mindset. There is abundance. There is enough for every last one of us. And even if two people are operating in the exact same business, there is more than enough for everyone. If two families are in the same direct situation, looking after the same resources, there is no need for competition. There is enough for everyone. So that abundance mindset is the first thing that is really important for us to abide by the law of increase. The next thing is this. You have to be aware that you have a divine team at your aid. You are not alone in achieving all of this. And a lot of times I understand. It seems like life beats us up and it's hard sometimes. I agree with you. And we feel like we are alone. However, if you take this mindset that you are not alone, first of all, whoosh, big stress reliever, right? You're not alone. And just take that mindset knowing that the divine team wants more for you than you ever could want for yourself. Stop striving. Stop fighting life. Just relax and breathe and know that your divine team is coming to your aid, is at your aid. When you worry, when you fret, when you have fear, when you have anxiety, thanks for those love bubbles. When you have all of those things that you allow in your space, you're stifling and strangling your own abundance and your law of increase. You will not and cannot increase when you are in that state of mind. Let me tell you, friends, about 4 years ago, I went through the roughest patch of my life that I can ever recall as an adult financially. See? And I was in a situation where I felt, my goodness, everything is about to fall apart. I'm gonna go under. And I was in anxiety, and I was in stress, and I was worried, and I was fretting, and I started to try to do some of those positive mindset thinking, and you know what? They didn't work for me. They did not work for me. And I had to come to the realization that my clamoring and my anxiety was not good. It was stopping up my channels. And then I learned to meditate during that same time period and brought some relaxation and peace to my life. Of course, prayer was involved. And I became aware of my divine team being at my aid and just relaxing, knowing that things would be okay. And I can truly tell you it didn't just happen like that, like I'm saying it. It was a process for me to work through in my mind. Because when I looked at the reality and when I looked at what I wanted, there was a huge gap, And I was talking about it here and talking about it there to people. And whether or not they cared, I don't know. However, I had to come to that realization for myself. And you know what? Over the long run, I came to acknowledge my abundance that I already have. I want you to hear me because this is key. Many times we're so worried about what we don't have that we're not thankful and grateful for what we have. And that thankfulness, that gratitude, the gratefulness is the key that unlocks the abundant flow. If we are not in a state of thankfulness and we are not in a state of gratefulness for the things we have and for the things we are about to receive, we've done locked that channel up and thrown away the key. I want to pause right here because I know I've heard this before in my life in the past, and I really hadn't processed this. I hadn't processed the power of this. See, because it just came like, okay, you know what? Being thankful is not going to get me what I want. Little did I know that that is exactly what happens when you are thankful and you're grateful. More things show up in your life to be thankful and grateful for. There's a quote that I copied here. You've heard about the karma, the law of karma, right? We say the law of cause and effect. And it says whatever you put out there in the universe comes right back to you. If you want happiness and peace and abundance, you've got to put that out in gratefulness and in your interactions with others. You have to keep that in mind, because if you're not doing that, you've already stopped up your channel. There's some other things to observe in getting to this increase that we want. See, that anger, that frustration, that constant state of complaining, the constant state of criticizing and condemning. Boy, we have a long walk, don't we? We have a long walk. I know I have a long walk. You know what's important? It's not that you've arrived at the destination. It is the journey. It is the excitement of knowing that you are transforming your life on a daily basis, and that today you have learned something tiny, maybe a tiny little bit different than you were yesterday. That's all that matters, your willingness and your openness to doing that. Your openness to being transformed and taking those tiny steps. So I know there are times when we all have been criticizing or complaining, or condemning. We all have been guilty of that. But what if we became aware and cut that out? Do you think that would increase us? Do you think that would foster and facilitate that law of increase? Absolutely. There's also another thing. You cannot rob a man continuously and be abundant yourself. That law that I just talked about, whatever you put out, you must get back. You may not get it back today. You may not get it back tomorrow. It may not be 2 years from now, but it is the law. It must manifest. So never mind about all those crazy people who are hurting and harming and look like they are progressing. Don't worry about them. You do your thing knowing that you are going to experience the love increase. There's no karma coming to you as long as you are tuned into who you are actually being and showing up fully for the people in your life and doing good by them. You can't swindle someone out of their dollars and expect your dollars to be increased. Business owners, ladies, if you have a business and you are shortchanging someone else on one end, this law of increase will never work for you. Temporarily maybe, but it is the law. It must catch up with you. You've heard of people gaining a lot of wealth and losing all of it. Well, there are many reasons why that could happen. Some of that could be the law that I'm talking about. How did you get that wealth? Did you climb on other people? Did you hurt other people? Did you take advantage of other people? Did you do any of those things to get what you have? And if you did, just know it's going to fall through your hands like sand. So you need to be, if you're in this law of increase, then you have to make sure that you are doing good by others. Everything in life that you have showing up right now is as a result of what you have chosen. That sounds really hard, I know. Like, I couldn't believe that at one point. I go, oh no, I have sown good seeds here, and some of these things that are happening to me is not a result of me. But when I really stop to think about it, yes, I may have sown good seeds, but what else am I allowing in my space that could hinder that? It's as a result of what I've chosen to do or what I've not chosen to do. Whether or not I've set some boundaries or whether or not I've not set some boundaries. Whether I've said some things or whether I've not said some things. Everything in my life is as a result of my choices. Everything in your life is as a result of your choices. If things are not coming to you, if you are not experiencing increase, then pause. Instead of throwing yourself into fear and anxiety and worry, pause. Go meditate. It works. Take a deep breath and figure out what it is that needs transforming for you. Maybe it's the way you're doing something. This is not a blame thing. You know, as I said, it is the whole way that this law of increase works. And I feel like at this point, you need to just step back a bit and think about the increase that you want to see in your own personal life. Is it showing up? And there's no need to answer my question here, but is it showing up? And if this law is not showing up, the increase is not showing up, then what is it that you need to put in place? Are you worrying too much and cutting off the channels like I was? Are you angry at someone? Are you keeping someone in a negative flow in your space? We're so interconnected, folks. There is nothing on earth that you do or think that does not affect your life as well as someone else's life. And I know we were not taught this in school. I didn't teach it. I didn't teach it at the university level. I didn't teach it at the high school level. I didn't teach it at any level because I was not aware of it. So I am bringing this empowering reflection to you so you can take a look and make a choice for yourself whether or not you want this law of increase to be a part of your whole experience. But just to leave you with a few quick thoughts and just practical things to start putting in effect now or to amp up in your life. And the first one is the whole spirit of being thankful and grateful for the things you have and for the things that are to come. I know that we talk about the law of attraction, we talk about manifestation of things, and we talk about biblical stuff, some of us, right? And there is the word, I believe it's Mark 11:24, whatever you ask for, believe that you have it. You've got to first believe you have it. And you will. It didn't say you may get it, even though some of us tend to put a twist on it. And we want to say, well, if it doesn't happen, then maybe it's blah, blah, blah. Don't go there. It says you will have it. So if you don't have it, take a look right inside here and see what it is that you need to free up. Are you worried, choked up with worry? So be thankful. The next thing is understand that there is a team, a divine team on your side. It is a downhill slide, folks. We're making this an uphill struggle and stopping up our own benefit. And then, thirdly, remember this, that you yourself will never have abundance if you are choking abundance from someone else. There is enough for every one of us. We don't have to pull others down to make it up. We don't have to choke off the blessings. If you know of a resource that somebody needs, give it freely, because so as you give, you will receive. Those are laws. So let's stop fighting one another and stop judging one another. If someone wants to increase, if they want more money in their bank accounts, that is their business. You don't know what their agenda is. You don't know what their motives are. Support them in whatever way you can, because in providing those support, my friends, you're also opening up the channels for your own personal support to come forward. So I know I've said a plain mouthful, and I hope that I have been somewhat of an inspiration for you here today. And as I went through those 3 or 4 tips, just remember to put those into practice. Finally, just relax yourself and just be at peace. Just be at peace knowing that everything will all work out, and you, my friends, have to be positive about your own circumstance in your own life, because as you do that, then you gradually impact the lives of the people around you. Let's stop looking over there and looking out there to say, oh, he needs to change and she needs to change before I change. It's right in here. And when we transform who we are being, then everybody else around us will also be transformed. My friends, love you so much. This is Dr. Gwen, empowering lives to live purposefully and passionately. Thank you, Jackie.